Hey, it's me, Tammy B, and this is my review for the movie Straight Outta Compton. All right, you guys, so I went ahead and saw Straight Outta Compton, and it was great. I've been looking forward to this movie ever since I heard it was coming out. I was excited about it just because it's about the West Coast and Los Angeles County, which is where I'm from as well. So the movie basically kind of told a little bit of the ins and out of what happened between NWA. And as you guys may know, NWA is made up of Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Eazy-E, DJ Yella, and MC Ran. So it kind of just told a little bit about how they got started. It seemed like it was kind of Dr. Dre and Eazy-E for the most part. And I'm not gonna go tell the story because I mean there's documentaries about it, the movies about it. So this is not my attempt to give a summary, but just to kind of just do a review of the movie. And I thought the movie was great, you guys. I thought all of the actors did an amazing job. The guy who did Dr. Dre, I know he studied at Juilliard, and he did a really good job. Just pretending to be that DJ. I don't know if he had DJ skills before or piano skills before, but that one part when he finally got the Snoop Dogg song, that when he was getting out, I was like, oh, there it goes. So that was kind of cool. And it was cool to see a little bit of just the surrounding areas. Because I know they talked about filming it in other places, but I'm glad they stayed true and just filmed it in California. And when I used to live in Compton a little bit, we lived on Rosecrans and Bullis, a little bit behind the Louis Burgers. And I kind of saw, it seemed like there was like a little area where they were in that vicinity as well. So that was pretty good. Some of the key points was Dr. Dre and his mom. That was interesting to see her do what most moms do, say, hey, you're a grown man, get a job or get out, right? And so he chose to get out. And, so that's kind of interesting. I wonder by the time he made it big, was she like, oh, dang, like maybe I shouldn't have kicked him out or whatever. But, I mean, that's normal for parents to be like, okay, you grown, go get a job or do something. So that was cute to see, how he did have pressure from his mom to do a job or to get a job, but he was like, I have bigger dreams. And just luckily in his case, his dreams end up working. Because, some guys be like, oh, I don't want to do a 9 to 5. And then they don't do nothing. So at least in Dr. Dre's case, he was like, oh, I'm not going to these interviews. But at least it worked out in the long run for him. So that was cool to see. The sad part about his brother getting shot. No, his brother, they said he got in a fight and his neck got broke. And I'm like, eeh. Like, just anytime hearing somebody neck break is just crazy. So I don't know if his neck was broke on accident or did the fighter intend to do that. So that was kind of sad, seeing that part. But the movie, that's what it did. It gave you some sad parts. It gave you some happy parts. It gave you a few insightful parts. So it had a little bit of everything, and that's what made the movie so great. And then just aside from the soundtrack, just hearing all the tunes from the 80s and 90s, that was really cool. And the parties looked fun, like the pool parties. I think they had like two pool parties I saw. One where Eazy-E was signing the checks, and another one where Dr. Dre and then was doing something. But all those pool parties looked bomb. Like I could just imagine them big mansion pool parties in the 90s. Like, so that looked really fun. So it was cool to see that side. And then when they was cruising the Shaw with all the lowriders, like that happened for a long time. And they still try to do it, but it just don't seem as fun as it did like in the 80s or 90s or whatever. So when they was cruising down the Shaw, they had all the lowriders, they were playing the music, and it was really cute. That was a good scene to see them cruising the Shaw that's a popular custom out here, cruising the Shaw on a Saturday night. Me and my friends used to say that all the time. So that was cool. One of the funny parts was when Eazy-E rapped for the first time. Oh my god, he's like cruising in my 6'4". Like it was kind of cute just to see how they practiced, and then we know what the final result was. But the fact that he was just offbeat, just yelling in the mic. But he said he was like, I'm not no rapper, but they kind of pressed him, and I'm glad. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's glad too that they ended up pressing him because he had a very lucrative rap career and producing career. So that was kind of funny just to see some of the ends of that. And then of course some of the BS that, which is why not that NWA is popular because of BS, but I'm just saying some of the BS that happened to us in our community, we got to see that in the movie. One time they were outside of the studio and the police hemmed them up. They slapped food out of their hands. They made them get on the ground. And you just like, oh, like you just wanted to go like jump in the screen and beat the police up, or jump in the movie and be like, hey, that's NWA, they about to beat somebody. So it was like irritating to see that happen, but of course we knew that we would have to see that because that was something that NWA was really passionate about, is just the police brutality, the inconsistency with regulations and laws. So we got to see the Rodney King beating and their reactions to that. We got to see Eazy-E's reaction when they let all of those police get off for beating Rodney King. And like I said, this scene outside of the studio. And I don't think that was the first and only time that the police had harassed them in the movie. So, we got to see a little bit of side of that. So that was pretty good to see their just how they were really feeling during that time. Another interesting part was we got to see all of their wives, and we all know some women that they've all been with before. We've heard good stories and, really, to be honest, bad stories about their relationships. But I thought it was pretty good because I didn't think they were going to mention the wives at all, or girls. Well, of course, we know they had to mention girls somewhat in rap videos and stuff, but we got to see when Dr. Dre met his wife at the pool party. We got to see Ice Cube wife from Jump, and her going with him to make sure a boy was giving him his money. And I feel like there was another wife. Oh, and Eazy-E's wife. We got to see her and how she's the one who kind of let him know, like, look, I looked over all this stuff. They're not paying bills. Or, the manager, Jerry, stuff is falling through the cracks. You need to fix this. So it was really interesting to see all of them and their wives, and they've all been married like 20 years now. And I know there's other stuff that happened in the beginning or in between, but I really appreciate being able to see that side of them. And then Eazy start coughing, y'all. As soon as he did that first cough, I was like, oh, here we go. It's almost about to be over. Like, once he found out the manager was swindling him, he went to the manager to talk to him, and he was coughing. I don't even think. No, the first cough was when, so NWA, they kind of broke up. It was beef between everybody. So one day Eazy-E bumped into Dr. Dre or Ice Cube at the club. So that was when Eazy-E was like, oh, let's get the group back together. My bad, your bad, whatever. So they had plans to get the group back together. And in that conversation, he coughed for the first time. And I was just like, oh, there's this sign of HIV/AIDS. So I was like, oh. And then the next time we saw him, he was confronting the manager, and his manager even told, like, you look like crap. Are you cool? But Eazy-E was so busy banging on him, he didn't go into his coughing. And then the third scene we saw him coughing was when he was about to bust a rhyme or something with his homies, and he just stopped and paused. And they asked him if he was okay, and he said, yeah. And it looked like he was about to continue, but then he passed out. So next thing you know, in the hospital, and they kind of let him know. And that scene was so sad, you guys. He was like, I don't even feel all that sick. Like, I was like, oh. So it was sad to see that happen. And of course, we know what really happened. He ultimately did die from the disease. So once again, it was a great movie. I give it 2 thumbs up. F. Gary Gray, he was the director. So I just love to see our men and women just doing it. They directed it, they acted, Dr. Dre did the soundtrack, and it's just good to see that they came from nothing, and here they are 20 years later. All of them, are still on the map. They're millionaires. They have their own company. They have families. So it was just so good just to see that, you guys. And of course, just being from LA, just being from the West Coast, just to see our city doing something good, you guys. So it was a great movie. I wanted a little bit more. Of course, I wanted to know what happened. I think they touched on Eazy-E going to the White House, but I wanted to see like what happened there. Like, did he do anything or say anything? And then I also heard he had got invited on accident. So I thought they were gonna touch on that, but I could understand why them not wanting to be like, oh, we really didn't even invite him. You know what I'm saying? I could understand them not wanting to doing that to his legacy. But I really want to know, like, was he invited on purpose or not? Or when he got there, what happened? So I kind of wanted to see that. And like I said, even though I was happy to see the Y stuff, like I don't know, I kind of wanted to see some of the stuff with Miss Chalet or just see because it's I don't know if rumors are true or not, but of course little stuff between Dr. Dre and Michelet and possibly Ice Cube and Michelet. So I kind of wanted to get into that, but I guess they probably couldn't without her consent or whatever. And then Suge Knight. At first I was like, he don't look like Suge. But then I saw this other documentary of the real Suge at that age. I was like, oh my gosh, he do look like Suge. So of course I wanted to see some more Suge Knight stories because we all know he like the big bad wolf around here and there's all these stories about all this mean stuff. I mean, they did show the scene where he supposedly beat up Eazy-E in the club or whatever, but I just kind of wanted to see some more because I just heard so much stuff about him. So, of course they couldn't do everything. The movie was 2 hours and 15 minutes long as it was, but I could have used another hour just to get all the details in the in between. But I recognize it has to be a movie. So that was it, you guys. That was Straight Out of Compton, summer 2015. It was great. 2 thumbs up to everybody. And as we know, O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son, got to play him, so that was really good. He said they even still made him audition and practice. So it was like, all right, you got this role. They was like, he still had to audition. So it seems like nobody was just handed over the role. Everyone auditioned, and it was a long time in the process. Like, from my understanding, it's been in the making for like 2.5, almost 3 years now. So I'm glad they took their time. Q Vision, his movie company, I saw him on the credits, so that's good that it's about our community and it's made by our community, and then all the money is going back because Dr. Dre also said he was going to donate a proceed of the ticket sales to some youth center in Compton. So that's good, you guys. So great movie, and I hope some other people just from LA I know all city needs to be represented, but it was good seeing LA, West Coast, especially Compton, South Central on the map. So that was good, and hopefully there's more to come. Hopefully the actors who played everybody did a good job. We got to see a little bit of the DOC, and he's actually my cousin's best friend nephew plays the DOC. So hey, if you ever watch, I don't know if you remember me. And then we got to see the Snoop Dogg. He did a really good job, and he looks like him. They mentioned Bone Thugs. And they showed Bone Thugs a little bit. So, and For the Love of Money was my song, y'all, with Eazy. Oh my gosh, like I was still a minor when that came out, so I had to beg my grandma to buy that tape. I got it on tape. I got For the Love of Money on tape. And you know how I had the parental advisory. So she was like, does that mean it's cussing on there? But oh my gosh, so I love that. And I wish they would have played a little Bone Thugs or something. But I know it's about NWA. Like we could have wanted to see everybody more. Snoop, Lady of Rage. I think that was Lady of Rage in the studio who busted out a gun on whoever they was messing with. Because that's the only person who I could think of, woman who was on the label at that time, but they didn't say. So, I wanted to see everybody more, but, it was about NWA, and I think we got a good, solid story about it. So it was really good. All right, you guys. So that was my review for Straight Out of Compton. And you know what's up? Give me the thumbs up on this video. Go ahead and hit me up on Twitter at TammyB_. And then my Facebook page will be in the description box, you guys. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.